Spark Books here. Today, I'm going to explain the book, Bird by Anne Lamott. Take care, enjoy the book, and have a nice day. Told from the personal perspective of author Anne Lamott, Bird is a guide toward becoming a better writer and improving your life along the way. Lamott's distinctive approach, honesty and personal anecdotes make this book a must for writers or anyone who wants to become one. Key idea number 1. Good writers write about everything that happens to them. There's no secret to being a good writer, but there are steps. First, relax, stand apart, and observe. You know those partygoers who stand in the corner and observe everyone? Good writers typically observe and take notes from a distance. The writer expresses what she sees and experiences. This involves relaxation and attentiveness so nothing is missed. Don't rush or force things. You must focus. Observe the walk of a stranger, how the early light strikes a lover's face, and how a childhood memory makes you feel. Observing and noting your reality is important for another reason. The best writing conveys the truth. Your observations will help. Whether you think your observations are good is irrelevant. Your major objective is to identify the truth in your observations and incorporate them in your story. So, the truth will come forth spontaneously. Use past experiences as your major source. Write about childhood and other memories. For example, writers can view life any way they wish. You can delve into your memories for hidden truths. Using your personal memories is fine if you search carefully and write as honestly as possible. Examine yourself like you do everything else. Key idea number 2. Honesty is key to finding your own voice. Critics agree that a brilliant writer has a voice, a particular style that encompasses plot elements and how they're delivered. Be honest with the reader to establish your unique voice. You can't find your own voice without facing emotional truths. As a writer, your job is to find and explain the feelings those doors hide. This is true even when you're grieving or angry. Only by facing and accepting your feelings whilst writing will your voice represent them. This is especially important if your feelings are too private or painful to examine closely. To accept your sensations, you must be present in the moment. You'll never be genuine to yourself or your voice if you avoid or ignore your feelings. When you are present in your feelings, you realize that your reality, composed of all your experiences and emotions, is your home. It's a safe place to be yourself. Once you embrace this, you'll feel comfortable with yourself and your feelings, and you'll find your writer's voice. Key idea number 3. Even if you think you're not a good writer, believe in yourself. Good authors don't stress about being good writers. If you want to write. You'll become better with practice. It won't be easy, though. You'll gaze at a blank page for hours. On other days, the words just flow. If you're patient and determined, every day has something to give. This faith helps young writers. Persevere, and you may become a good writer. You may develop a craving for writing, like someone may for sports or music. By believing you'll become a terrific writer, you'll replace irritation with joy for the act. Faith is also important since writers must believe in their position. Nobody will believe you if you don't. How do you build faith? Understand and care strongly about life. This means examining life's banalities as well as its major, dramatic moments. Write about your priorities. You won't feel connected to your tale till then. Key idea number 4. To improve your writing, write every day. Many people assume writers and artists only work when inspired. It's critical to recognize how significant work commitment is. Writing requires commitment, habit, and discipline. The author says no family secret helped her write properly. She had no password to good writing. The author realized that all the good authors she knew were committed to their job and disciplined in their routine. Writing is like meditation. You must calm your thoughts to hear your inner voice. Keeping a daily schedule allows this. You now know how to write well. In the next blinks, we'll cover book writing. Good authors have a regimen. You should do the same to improve your writing. Why? Because routine equals discipline equals success. First, write every day, even if you're not productive. Second, write daily at the same time. This prepares your unconscious mind to be creative when you arrive. At first, you may feel bored and unable to write. Your routine will eventually pay off. You'll clear mental writing space to prepare for creative writing. The schedule encourages daily writing. Your regimen will train your creative energies to kick in at the proper time every day. Even routine and discipline won't guarantee exceptional writing. Writing well has no secret formula. It's critical to recognize how significant work commitment is. Writing requires commitment, habit, and discipline. The author says no family secret helped her write properly. She had no password to good writing. The author realized that all the good authors she knew were committed to their job and disciplined in their routine. Writing is like meditation. You must calm your thoughts to hear your inner voice. Keeping a daily schedule allows this. You now know how to write well. In the next blinks, we'll cover book writing. Key idea number 5. First drafts aren't scary. Many people believe good writing comes from the writer's imagination. Nobody produces an exquisite first draft, even in college. All good books are the result of a sequence of increasingly good versions, starting with a shitty first draft. Even a seasoned writer may struggle to accept how bad their writing is. All authors should accept the sloppy first draft as a starting point and embrace it. The rough first draft is the great time to tinker with ideas. Just write without overthinking. Too much thinking can hinder your creativity and cause you to quit up. Enjoy. First drafts are for getting messy, knowing you can clean up afterwards. No one will criticize you on your first draft, so throw everything on it. Editing is the process of developing your content, refining its focus, and improving the writing. Consider the second draft up since you're improving it. The third draft is the dental draft because it pokes and prods the text like a dentist checks your teeth. Imagine a story developing over consecutive revisions, like a Polaroid photo. Key idea number 6, your plot and language flow via your characters. Each budding writer wants to know how to develop interesting characters. What makes characters memorable? Consider how your characters would talk in a train or mall. Imagine their reactions to difficult conditions. Dialogue is more revealing than a long description. This includes diction, speed, and speaking style. To write genuine conversation, read it aloud and observe how real people speak. Are they employing correct grammar? What makes them different? To build excellent characters, know them. As a writer, you must then bring them to life. How? Like actual people, characters have an emotional acre. It's where your wants, hates, needs, and loves grow or evolve. Each character's emotional acre should be clear in your story. What's my character's acre producing? What's blooming? The land's condition. Look closer. What's happening? Who knows? Your characters need protection. They must suffer. If your characters live perfectly and behave perfectly, your story will be boring and lifeless. Find your characters' voices. Modeling a character's personality on someone you know will give them a genuine voice. As readers, we want to believe what fictional characters say. Bringing characters to life includes storyline and conversation. This requires understanding them. This understanding will inform your plot and dialogue. Consider how your characters would talk in a train or mall. Imagine their reactions to difficult conditions. Dialogue is more revealing than a long description. This includes diction, speed, and speaking style. To write genuine conversation, read it aloud and observe how real people speak. Are they employing correct grammar? What makes them different? Key idea number 7. Details build story atmosphere. You know how essential details are if you've ever read a novel. A writer employs details to pull a reader into her story because they make it more tangible and believable. Writing properly requires rough drafts, interesting characters, and vivid details. What if you face a writing roadblock? The setting is essential. An excellent setting makes your character's world more three-dimensional. Writers can modify any environment to their plot and characters. A forest where a crime occurred will be depicted with gloomy, darker elements than a sunny, verdant forest where a happy family picnics. Private settings can tell much about characters. The character's space reveals characteristics of his personality. An individual who spends his days idly wandering his huge house may be affluent. A competent writer keeps her eyes open and carries a notebook to jot down facts that may be useful when writing. Details? If you're at a huge estate for an occasion, count the steps on the main staircase or measure how far it is to go. Make your rich characters' lonely rants believable. Details shape your story structure. When a writer wants to make sure his story flows effectively, he'll compose a plot treatment, a precise list of what happens in each chapter. When you write a therapy, you'll notice missing or nonsensical details. Unless you're writing about zombies, if a character dies in the first chapter then returns to rescue the day in the last, you have a problem. Writing properly requires rough drafts, interesting characters, and vivid details. What if you face a writing roadblock? Key idea number 8. When you have writer's block, step back and take a breath. Every writer gets stuck sometimes. That's writer's block. How do you know whether to fight or let go? Your intuition guides you. Creative emptiness is debilitating, like guilt and frustration. You can get through this, luckily. First, admit you're stuck. Admit you're not feeling creative. Stick to your schedule and write at least 1 page a day, no matter how tough it is to form words. Your optimism that you'll be able to write again will get you over the block. Confidence supports you like a pole. What happens when confidence and inspiration disappear? It's difficult. You can recover confidence by trusting your intuition. Stay cool, breathe, and trust your gut. By staying calm, you'll get back on track. Observe and respect your intuition if it tells you the blocked story is bad. Writer's block can halt a fantastic story. Sometimes you'll be blocked because your paragraph, chapter, or story is bad. How do you know whether to fight or let go? Your intuition guides you. Key idea number 9, humorously and generously write about your weaknesses. Everyone denies their emotions. Denying one's sentiments can be a huge loss for authors, since we learn from our emotions. This applies even to hazardous emotions like jealousy. Jealousy is risky and demeaning for authors. It makes you paranoid, miserable, and lonely. Whether you write professionally or for fun, you may experience jealousy. If your best friend's book gets fantastic reviews but yours flops at chapter 6, you might feel jealous and avoid them. If you let bad thoughts fester, they could spread to all writers, including you and your writing. Jealousy poisons your personality and writing if left unchecked. Don't hide jealousy, misery, or fear. Instead, describe their beauty. Writing about your feelings will help you grow as a writer and a person. Confronting feelings is hard. Love, sadness, and loss are hard to dwell on forever. Face your emotions, and you'll feel stronger and recover your sense of humor. What seemed like the end of the world may become one of your most memorable experiences. As a writer, you can utilize these emotions to investigate yourself and others, then offer them to your story's characters. Key idea number 10, get feedback on your work. Stories abound. Many people are waiting to share their stories with you. Talk to them. Writing is frequently alone, thus many writers isolate themselves. Writers should avoid this. After a lengthy stretch at the desk, you may display signs of dissociation, when you can't tell truth from fiction. Don't wait till you're here to reach out. Look to others for inspiration. A stranger's story might inspire you while you're enjoying a break in the park. Who doesn't want their tale told? Sharing and discussing your works with other authors might also inspire you. Join a writing group if you have no writer mates. Creative writing classes and workshops allow writers to discuss their work. Some of these organizations are viciously critical, and your work could be shredded by professors and fellow writers, shattering your confidence. When you want attention and a professional perspective on your work, find someone who can be helpful and constructive. Key idea number 11, good writing trumps publication. Why do so many writers crave publication? Consider publication a pleasure. Your actual reward is living a writer's life, achieving tiny goals every day and caring sincerely about your job. Being published is a means to get readers, nothing more. Reading and writing expand writers' lives and feed their souls. Writers need audiences. Writing in a vacuum is boring. Writers demand talent validation. Many writers obsess over getting published, finding an audience, and gaining acclaim. If you expect publication to bring fame and fortune, you'll be disappointed. If you're lucky, your book will be published, you'll get positive reviews, people will attend your reading, and your agent may give you flowers. Publishing a book won't make you famous or affluent. If you're not a decent writer before publication, you won't be after. Published doesn't equal good writer. Every writer wants to be published. It signifies the writing community praised your work. What counts most is the personal and emotional development you undergo while writing. Consider publication a pleasure. Your actual reward is living a writer's life, achieving tiny goals every day and caring sincerely about your job. Being published is a means to get readers, nothing more. Reading and writing expand writers' lives and feed their souls. To view more content like this, subscribe. Don't forget to like and turn on notifications. The channel really benefits from it. I appreciate you being here.